everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Today I have this little haunted house project that I put together. I used some little ghosts to light up the inside and I created a little ghost to greet you. It was super fun making this. I did do a lot of mistakes and I'm going to leave them in the video because I feel like you will learn from that and then you can decide how you want to put it together. Let's get to crafting. All right, so I've got these wood pieces, these two pieces of wood that are haunted house shapes that I grabbed from the Dollar Tree. I grabbed two exact ones, two matching ones. And then of course, I grabbed this piece of chunky wood. It's a 12-inch piece, so it's 12 inches long. And I got it because I like that it's heavy and it'll stand, you know, so my item can stand. But then I saw this other little piece of wood. It's also 12 inches in length. It's about a 1/4 inch wider than that, but as you can see, it's much thinner. But it's also very lightweight. So this wasn't going to work by itself. This would work by itself, but I like the width of this. And even though it's only a 1/4 inch wider, I still would prefer the width of this one. So I decided I'm just going to grab both pieces. I'll glue them together. It'll give me the weight that I need for support and the width that I want. I really would have liked a little bit wider, but we're just going to make a thin little display. All right, so I want to paint these black, but also when I stand them on this piece of wood, you're going to be able to see through them. So I kind of was thinking about making some little walls to go in here, a little roof, another piece here, and then another little roof here. So I was going to grab some poster board or foam board to do that, but I happen to have this fun foam, and it's got a little glittery side to it, and I thought that would be kind of cute if that was facing the inside of my little house, so maybe the lights will be reflective on here because it's very glittery. But the other side is white, and this will be on the outside of the little house. So I was thinking, well, maybe I'll cut these to size first, you know, the size of the pieces that I need first, and then I can turn them around and paint them on this side black. So then when I do paint everything black, then it'll all dry at the same time. It'll be ready, you know, at the same time. Okay, so let me go ahead and just take one of these little houses. And okay, this is, let me take the width of this, and I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller than the width of the board. But I want to go ahead and mark it. So I'll just use a little pencil to draw a line. Let's do it all the way because I don't know how much I'm going to need. I might need to cut more strips. Okay, so I've got the first one. I'll go ahead and cut it out, and I'm going to cut just a tad inside of the line that I just drew. And I think I'm going to cut 2 strips just to be on the safe side. So there's my 2 strips. This is what I'm going to use to cut the walls that are going to be in between these 2 pieces. Okay, so our first wall is about, let me put it this way so I can mark it with a pencil. It's a little slanted, so I'm going to cut this slanted. So I'll cut a little bit of a slant here. Okay. And I need to cut 2 because one on each side. Okay, so now I've got these 2 walls here. I may even cut them a little bit thinner, but for now, that's what I'm cutting. Okay, then I'm going to cut the little roof here. Not to remember which pieces are which. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put R, roof 1. This is roof 1. wall. So just a W. And I know when I paint them, that's going to hide, but you know, for now, because just to set them aside. Okay, now I need this piece right here. Now I also have this little bit of the roof, but I'm not going to worry about that part. Okay, now I need this other little wall. And then I'm going to put on this one, this is roof 2. I'm going to put these here. I'm going to start painting these, and I have some, on these pieces I'm going to paint only the sides on this big one, because this is going to get covered. So I'm just going to paint the edges, not the bottom. Don't worry about that. This one I am going to paint both sides only because the little lip that'll hang over. Is it really important? Let's see. Yeah, I'll paint it. So I'll paint like on the edge only here. Paint the whole bit here, and then all the edges. I'm just going to use a little sponge brush. You can use a bristle brush, you know, whatever's easier for you, or if you want to stomp it with another sponge, you can do that. I got these paints from the Dollar Tree. It's got it says Crafter's Square on it, right there. And I got this black acrylic paint. I was thinking about using a chalk paint. I do have one, but you know, I want to try these paints out. Let's see how good they are. Okay, so I just poured some on a little piece of cardboard, and I'm just going to paint. And I want to get both sides of these, and of course I want to get all these little edges, like on the inside edges of the little windows. I want to make sure I get that. So I will be doing that. I'm going to let this side dry, and then I'll do the other side. And when I do the other side, I'll grab these, and then I'll paint these as well. Okay. All right, so I've got all these pieces all painted. These are all painted on the other side as well. And I'm just waiting for this side to dry. But I did want to point out something on the little pieces where I marked them with the pencil. Like I put, you know, like roof, like an R for roof, R2 for roof 2. Don't do that. Don't go marking your foam with a pencil, because you're pushing into the foam and it actually stays marked. So when you paint it, you know, the paint goes in there and you can actually see what you wrote on there. So if you don't want that, don't do that. Instead, just paint the whole strip, or the 2 strips, whatever you think you're going to need. I painted 2 strips and I just had a little piece left over, and it's no big deal. Just paint it all, and then once it's dry and everything, then you can cut them to size as you go along, rather than doing what I did. Okay, so that's just my little tip. I'm using just a regular acrylic paint, and I've done 1 coat, and I like the wood grain kind of showing through here, and I kind of want to do maybe a little bit of gray or something on top of that, but I think I'm going to wait till I have it all put together. You know, and then I'm going to, you know, decorate it. So I'll wait till then, and then I'll add some little effects. I did think about using some cellophane on the inside part here for the windows, but I completely forgot, so I don't have that. So you might want to consider getting little cellophane pieces and, you know, hot gluing them with some white glue on the inside here, so to give you some little window panes and maybe create some sort of a little door. Like I said, I didn't think of that ahead of time. I do have just regular cellophane, so I might go ahead and use that on the windows. We'll see. But that's it. We're going to wait till these are completely dry so we can then start putting things together. So I did find some cellophane, and I cut out a couple of sheets that I'm going to be using on for the windows. Now, if you don't happen to have cellophane at home, you might have some items that are packaged in plastic bags, or maybe even some Ziploc bags. I know that sometimes those type of baggies, like the sandwich bags, will have some print on one side, but then the other side is completely clear. Or maybe you can cut around the areas that don't have any print. So you can use these items, these plastics, to cut out your little pieces to go in your windows. Okay, just a little tip. You can use these. Good way to recycle them. All right, so now I want to go ahead and put these pieces together. So I'm going to turn this around like so. And I'm going to add some wood glue. And I did grab this wood glue from the Dollar Tree. I don't know how good it is. Okay, just enough. And now I want to use my hot glue gun. And let me move my cellophane out of the way. To put some glue in some little spots, just to help hold it all together and have a quick bond. Okay. I didn't put it all the way to the edges because this is going to overlap, you know, this here. And I do notice some of these I went a little too close to the edge. So just keep in mind that if you're going to do like I do. I'm going to grab this one and put it on it like that. That way I can see, you know, if it's centered. It doesn't have to be perfect. But there it is. So now I got a nice little stand to put my house pieces on. Okay, so I can move that out of the way. And I want to grab one of these little house shapes and the cellophane. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and put it over the door as well, you know. And I'm just going to cut this to kind of overlap the whole thing. It's up to you how you want to do it, but that's just how I'm going to do it. So I said I was going to glue this down with some white glue. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this wood glue. I want to go around the windows, the door frame. Okay, hold on. Let me get this around this one. Let's slide it over a little bit here. I can just trim off the excess that might overlap outside of the shape. Okay, now I'll do these over here. Like that. All right. And I went a little bit further out than I needed to as far as this glue, but I'll just smear it on top of the edges here just to keep them from flopping around. And now I know that I need to trim like a little bit right here, a little bit there. That might be actually easier to just let it overlap in some spots and then just trim it off like after it's already glued. Try not to move it because then you're going to get that glue on that cellophane, which I'm doing. Making a big old mess, but there we go. And if you want to use a little bit of hot glue, you can, but just keep in mind that's going to melt the cellophane, and we're going to be able to see across, so we don't want to make too much of a mess. So let's just leave it like that. That should dry clear, hopefully, and we're going to let that go. And if it works out well, then I'll go ahead and do the other one. I don't want to mess it up. And if it didn't turn out right, because this one, we're going to be able to see the inside of it, you know. When we look through, we're going to be able to see the insides. And I don't want to see all of that. So I want to make sure this does dry clear and we don't see it before I do anything else. I don't want to put any hot glue anywhere else because I don't like the way that it looks. So I'll just let you know that. You just use some regular white glue to put this down. Okay, so now I want to create like a little standing ghost. So I've got some wire here. This is an 18 gauge wire, and then I've got a little white round bead. I got this little package from the Dollar Tree, some round wood beads. They don't say the size. No, it doesn't say the size on here. I would think maybe they're like a 1/2 inch. Okay, so then I've also got some cheesecloth where you can use any thin white gauzy fabric, or you know, any fabric that kind of droops down that doesn't like want to stick out, you know. All right, we're gonna go ahead and grab some wire. I don't know how much I'm gonna need of it, so I'm just gonna cut a nice long piece. I'm gonna say about 12 inches. This is about 12 inches. This piece of wood is 12 inches. And curved, it's about 12 inches. It's probably a little bit longer, so that'll give you an estimated size to start with. I'm going to start by coiling one of the ends. Wait, I want to coil it flat. So just get bigger as you go. Okay. I think that'll be good. I just want to create like a little stand. Actually, I'm going to bend this way. I think it's easier to bend this that way than try to get this little end here to bend down. So now I'm going to make sure that it's all like kind of as flat as I can get it. Okay. Like that. And it's just a little ghost. So I want, let me compare to the door here. Okay. I'm going to bend this about an inch, and then about another ½ inch the other way, like that, and then ½ inch this way, bend it down, so you have like a little, do you see that, like a little cross there? And then we're gonna bring this up here in the middle, upward, like that. Bring it up like that. That's actually too long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut off some. Rather cut off extra, more than what I think I need. So we have that little shape. These could probably be a little bit longer. The little, what I created as arms could probably be a little bit longer, but I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so now I'm going to get the little wood ball, slide it in. It has a little hole. You want to make sure you get the ones with a little hole in it. And then we're going to bend this down and trim it off. Wait, hold on. Yeah. I'm going to bend it down and trim off, because we don't need that. Just bend it as much as you can. There we go. That'll be good. Yeah, the little arms could be bigger. So you know what I'm going to do? This little piece that I cut off, I'm going to put it through there. Let's see if that's gonna work. I'd have to twist it quite a bit. Okay, I'm gonna actually fold this and then fold the other end. So when you're doing these little arms, instead of ½ inch, maybe an inch, a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna add this little guy, put it in like a safety pin. Actually, a safety pin, it's not a bad idea to use for this project. Okay, so you're learning as I'm going. I don't know if this is going to work, you guys, so we're going to try. Only because I decided that my arm should be longer. I mean, I could just cut another piece of wire and not trim it and just use the whole length. So you're probably going to need about 12 inches. You saw that I cut off about 3, maybe. Okay, I'm going to pinch that. Okay, bring it around. And I pinched it too much, now I can't slide it over. Come on. It's gonna work, you guys. It's gonna work. I have full confidence. Can I get the other one on the other side as well? This is how to fix a problem. Okay. Okay, pinch it nice and tight so it doesn't come off. See, now I've got longer arms on there. See that? Okay, so don't cut off what I did. Measure about 12 or 14 inches. Okay, so I want to keep this from sliding off, so what I'm going to do is get some hot glue and just put some there, put some on there. That'll hold everything in place. It's not hurting anybody to put some glue there. Alright, and we're just going to let that dry. And we'll be back for the next little step. Okay, so I'm doing this and I realized I wasn't recording, so let me tell you what I'm doing. I got some cheesecloth and I just cut off, you know, a little piece, and then I cut it again. And then what I did, I grabbed my little ghost figure stand here, the little thing that I made. I put some glue on the top of the little bead, the little head, to glue it down, first on the top. And then I put glue along the top of a little arm here so that I can push that inward or slide it against it like that. And then on the same on the other side, so do one side first, and then put glue on the other side, and then kind of slide your fabric down into that groove. Okay, so, and then it doesn't matter which is your front or which is your back, but I'm going to take a little bit of glue what would be the back of the head and along the back of the little arms. And I want to put that down and be careful not to burn yourself with the glue. Make sure your cheesecloths or gauze, whatever you're using. Okay, and now I'm going to put another little dot down there in what would be like the little neck area and pinch the fabric so it comes downward. So it comes downward rather than it wants to keep popping open. And now I'm going to trim it. I'm going to trim one side and then I'll do the other. Okay, a little bit more right there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think the unevenness makes it look, you know, a little more like a ghost. Okay, now on the front, I'm not going to put any on the face of the bead. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue where the other glue that I put on the underneath will be the little neck area. And then I'll grab the fabric and I'll just kind of pinch it in there as well. So it does that. See that? Okay. Now I can trim the fabric at the front. Guys, I am actually using my little glue stand that I made. Okay. And then I'm going to trim around right here a little bit. Kind of like an upward, you know, want to make this longer up here, and then just kind of at an angle is what I should do. Like if you were cutting or trying to form some bat wings, sort of, so that it comes out like that. And it's just a little bit of fabric. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually put more along the stand pole here, just to pinch the cloth on here to kind of bring that cloth in a little bit more. Kind of tailor it a little bit more. And in the front, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to glue it to the little post. I am going to get the little bit of glue on the edge of the coiled stand part of it and just kind of glue it down right there. Just so it doesn't move around. And there it is. There's our little ghost on a little stand. And you can use this little ghost idea for really anything, really. I mean, do what you can with it and just improve it after seeing my mistake, you know. Improve it for yourself. If you feel like, oh, you know, I see too much of the wire, whatever, the cheesecloth is not covering enough, what we could do is we could get another piece. Let's grab another piece. Let's trim that out. And we could put some more. So I'm just going to do the same thing I just did. Just doing an extra layer. Oops, my goodness. And then just right in the middle, right there. And you know, it's a good idea that I'm doing this because it's sort of kind of repeating the beginner step. So then I put glue there and just smooth it along the side of the head. Push it into the little shoulder area. Along the little arm here. Push that into that little corner on top of the little arm. Perfect. And then we'll pinch a little bit at the neck because this is the front part. Pinch it into the neck right there. Oh, that's looking really good. I'm liking that. Okay, and in the back, we put it along the back of the head. We don't have to. We can just go ahead and just go straight to the back here and the little pole part, the little metal of the wire. And then just pinch the fabric and bring it in. Once we have this where we want, how we want it, and we'll trim it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just kind of roughly cutting it because I want it to be like just a kind of raggedy ghost here. Okay, and then I'm going to put some more glue here. Front. To hold down the front of the ghost fabric so that, you know, we can see the actual shape of a little ghost. And then we'll trim off anything more that we need to trim once it's, you know, completely dry. But there's our little ghost. It actually looked really good with just a one piece of gauze or the cheesecloth. But yeah, I like it. It's cute. There we go. A little ghost. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and I've put the cellophane on there, and really and truly, I don't think the cellophane is really doing anything to this because it's clear. And if I had used colored, I probably would have put a little bit less glue, so it dries. It's drying clear, but I can still see the glue, so I'm contemplating just not using the cellophane at all. Like, I want to just take it off. All that work. So I want to take that off and not put it on at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe it with a little damp cloth, and if I have to repaint some areas, that's what I'll do, because I really don't like the way it's going to look, the way it's working out for me. So just letting you know, that's what I did, and I'm undoing it, so we'll skip that part. All right, okay, so I am gonna take a Sharpie to finish off my little ghost, and I just want to do some little eyes, and I'm just gonna tap it. You could use the acrylic paint and use like a really fine brush to do this, but I thought, you know, a Sharpie would be the best. So I'm just doing some little dots, little ovally type of dots. And I'm pushing down like that rather than trying to scrape it, because I don't want to move the little fibers of the cheesecloth, and then everything will get like really misshapen. So just dab till you've got a cute little, let me put the light on it here. You got a little cute little face on it like that. Okay? Isn't he cute? And he stands pretty good. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to start doing the next part. I want to glue this large piece to the stand. The other one, I wiped off as much of the glue as I could, and I repainted it. So I'm just letting it dry. I'm going to put this piece right here. I want to center it as much as I can, and I want to put it as close to the edge as possible. Maybe about an eighth of an inch away. You know what? Let's do it. Or I'm looking at it from behind, because I want the glue to end up on the inside. Now, I do want to put glue on the edge here, but I've already tried it and it dries really fast, my hot glue. So I'm just going to put a tiny little bit. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be centered perfectly. And then I'm going to put glue along the inside here. And you're going to want to hold it for a little bit. And then use something on here to hold it straight, and we're going to leave it alone. We're going to walk away because we still need for that part to dry anyway, but at least we're getting this part on there for now. Okay. All right, so I've got the first body of the little house on my little stand, and I want to go ahead and place the other one, and I want to place it the same way, about the same distance from the edge here. I'm just looking at it like, how am I going to get in there with my hot glue gun? But I'm going to go ahead and try. This is why I'm glad that I did go for a little bit wider. If I could have gone up an even wider plank, it would have been better. Okay, so what I did here also, after that first line of glue that I put down dried, I put another one, and then I kind of did like a little bit of a, you know, I went up a little bit, went this way, and so forth, to kind of create like a little anchor right there. So I'm going to try and do that with this one as well. I don't have something that I'm going to be able to place in the middle to hold it, so I'm just going to stay here until it's all, you know, hopefully attached and doesn't come off. And that didn't take very long, by the way, to get to solidify and stay still. Okay, I'm going to put it like that, and I'm just going to hold it. I could actually put something right here. Can I hold it? Yeah. Actually, I don't need anything. All right, so then I'm going to go carefully and just drop some glue. I'm not going to be able to do it way in the center, but I can do it here on the edge. I need more glue on my gun here. Okay, a line of glue and let that dry. I'll do the same on the other side. You know what, these glue, hot glue webs aren't that bad because I actually plan on putting some little webs in here, so they actually work. Okay, so once that's dry, I'll try to create the same little anchors here on the edges like I did in here. Okay, so that's drying, so I'm going to add that little bit of glue going up the wall, down on the bottom, and then little puddle of glue there in the where it joints. Over here I can't go that high because there's a window or a doorway there. Okay, so I want to put my little ghost in there too. So I want to put some glue, and I want him to be right on the door here. So put some hot glue right there. And slide my little ghost onto that puddle of glue. He needs to be inside there. There we go. So when you look in the little door, sorry, let me put this light like so. See? See the little ghost in there? Okay. So there he is. I'm going to bring him this way a little more. He's leaning back a little too much. Okay, now I'm going to get some spider webs. Okay, so I have this package that I grabbed from the Dollar Tree. I had already been using some outdoors, so that's why it's all torn up already. So I'm just going to grab a little bit. I don't need that much. And let's go ahead and pull some apart. Let me go ahead and just cut because it's easier that way. Okay. This is the you might not want to do it face. So it's just a little bit a problem here to use this because it's all over the place. You have to kind of just cut pieces and then just stretch it. And I want to see where I can put it inside of there. Okay. See how it's not that easy. I'm going to hot glue. I'm going to lay this down like that. And I'm going to put a drop of hot glue way up here. Oops. And then put that on the glue. And then just stretch it. And then stretch it so that you see it through the windows. Okay, I can cut this off and that off. Okay. And of course it's going to go in right here because there's going to be a little bit of a wall there. We'll push it in when we put the wall in there. And I'm just putting little dots of glue so the web stays stretched out. And then you can trim off. And you know what? The little pieces that I cut for the roof, I'm actually going to redo those because I was thinking about how they're going to be inside of there, and I think I want them kind of overlapping. We'll see. Let me glue that down and that down over here so I can trim off that bit. Oops, and I just pulled the whole thing. I didn't trim it enough. The good thing about this is that because it's supposed to be spider webs, they can just be all over the place and it won't matter. And I'll push in the rest of it. I did want to paint maybe a little bit of white on here, but you know what? I am thinking that I am making too much of a mess just trying to do this, so I'm going to skip that part. Okay, now let's cut another piece or tear off. And if you've worked with these webs, oh my gosh, you know that they are a little bit of a problem. They just go everywhere. Okay, so I want some to go across this window over here. Be careful, don't burn yourself. Stretch it out across here. There we go. Stretch it out downward. So this is actually working out pretty good because, you know what, the cellophane didn't work out, but the spider webs are. And I don't want to have too much there. I'm going to glue this now onto this other side. There we go, right there. Yes. This is not staying where I want it to stay, so let's go in there with some glue. Stretch it out. Come on, honey. Oops, oops, oops. I don't want to break my bond here, and I did a little bit. That's okay. We're going to put some glue. Glue that back down. Actually, I might put some glue on this outer back edge here. And we'll cover that. You can paint over it or some moss or something. Okay. Now we're going to let that dry. Put that against it. Let that dry. And I shall be back. Okay, so I've got this little string of LED light set right here. This is 10 lights. Grabbed it from the Dollar Tree. It's got some cute little ghosts. So anyway, I was putting some batteries in here. And it has a tiny little screw. I hate when they have the little screw because you gotta take it out and before you can put any batteries. It's not something that just snaps on, but in the same time it keeps everything nice and secure. Okay, so now that I've got the batteries in there, I want to put this string of lights, of little ghosts, in my little house. I'm considering this the front of my little house. I thought this could be a centerpiece, and I mean it could be turned around and be seen as that, but I think it's more of a putting it on either a shelf or on a table that's on a wall. So now I need to decide how I want these little ghosts to be in there or outside. I don't know. I kind of like them in there. There is a ton of them. I think I'll start at the bottom here because I like that it's pulling the... I'm going to put one right here, the first one. So let's put a little bit of glue on the bottom plastic part of it. And glue him right here in the window. So cute. Okay. You have to be creative doing this. Bend the wire as needed to try to get the little ghosts to be in the position you want. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just to get this one also to stay in a certain spot. By the way, make sure you use a good wood glue. Not just the hot. The wood glue that I got from the Dollar Tree is okay. It's not that great. This little part right here came off of the bottom one as I was maneuvering things. So I had to re-glue it because the wood glue is not dry yet. And you know, and I'm doing all this moving around, so I'm also causing that problem. But I'm letting you know so that you can think about that when you do yours, to maybe use some E6000. Okay, this little guy can be in this window. I'm going to glue him to the back here just so we can see him not at the window but more, you know, at the back wall over here. I'm trying also not to get any glue on the wire of the light set here, the string. I don't know if that's going to do any damage though. Just going to be careful. Some of these ghosts are not going to be like, they're going to be kind of sideways, and that's okay. Let me make sure this one is twisted, facing forward. That's the good thing about the fact that it has wire. He's just flying by. This one is too. Let me put glue. Yeah. Okay. Alright, glue this guy over here. And then bend this. And I want to put this little ghost in this little window. There we go. He looks so cute. And I'm going to try and bend this one, the wire, so I can manipulate that one. Okay. This one I moved it too much and it came undone. So I'm going to put a little bit more glue. And you know what? He doesn't want to be attached here, so I'm just going to let him be floating there. Can you see him? That looks so cute. Let's turn off this light here. Let's see. Where's the switch? And then let's turn this light off. Oops. Okay. See the little lights and the little ghosties in there? Oh, that looks so cute. Okay, so the battery pack, I could glue the pack where it doesn't open. I could glue it to the back here somewhere, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to lay it there so that it can be picked up and turned on and off comfortably, so you don't have to move the whole thing and then maybe unglue things that come apart. We're just going to leave it like that. I'm going to turn them off for now. Okay, so I think that's really cute. That makes it look special. Okay, so now I'm going to take these little pieces that I cut for the walls and the roof, and I was thinking that the roofs, I might have to do them, redo them. So, because I think I want them overlapping over, you know, where the, and then the other thing is I didn't cut this little inner part. I only cut the outer one and this one, you know, for these sides like that, but I didn't cut for in here and in here. So let me do the bottom walls. Where's the walls? That's a wall. I think the bottom walls had an angle to them. Yes, I found them. They're right here. It's these two, right? Yeah. Okay. This says R roof. That's the only good thing about, you know, I'm missing one of them. We'll figure it out. Okay, so this is a little wall that goes right here. And so I was saying that I might have to cut them thinner, and I am going to cut them thinner to fit in there. A little bit more. It's better to cut a little bit at a time. I want the silver part going inside. A little bit more. Okay. Okay, you know what? This is not even the part that goes there. It's this one right here. Yeah, this fits here. I'm just going to end up having to cut things again, and then what I'm going to do is I'll just paint them once they're on here. A little bit more. And I'm pushing this wire from the lights inside of there. Yeah, that's where this is going to fit, right here. Okay, so I'm just going to glue it from the inside because I'm going to put glue on the edge of this foam, and it doesn't have to be all along the edge. It can be just little spots here and there, just enough for it to catch, and that catches really well. So I've covered this side of the house, and I'll do the same thing over here. Make sure that I get that little silver part facing inside. I think that's going to make it look really cute. Okay, so that went there. I think these were part of the roof. Yeah, okay. So I'm obviously going to have to redo that because I don't know where one of the pieces, oh, I found it, it's on the floor. One of these pieces, yeah, it says roof right on there. And this one says roof as well. Okay. So then we have these little pieces. This seems to be these are the same. Oh, these are short like that. Oh, these go right here. That matches that length somewhat. And these are like that or like this? I think like that. Okay, so let's trim them to fit. Remember the silver inside. I'm already putting it on the outside. This is the hardest part, I think. I mean, the webs were kind of, but you could decide not to put any webs at all, or you could add the webs onto the inside parts first before you actually put them on, glue them down. And this isn't going to perfectly like seal anything. It's just, you know, just for looks kind of a thing. Alright, let's do the other side. Alright, so you don't want to be bored watching that, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish my little walls, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've done the side walls right here. And then I've done them on this side as well, the little spots here. What I need to do is underneath here. I didn't cut those, and because the first pieces that I had already trimmed them sort of to the size, the width. I'm going to go ahead and use those pieces. They were supposed to be for the roof, but I kind of want the roof to overlap. So I'm going to redo them, and then I'll paint them after I glue them on. So these I want right here. They're not really that important. We don't really need this. Oh, I put it backwards too. No, it's right. It's correct. That's going to get covered. Actually, I don't even need this, guys, now that I think about it. Why? Why am I putting that on there? Okay, we're not going to put that. Oh, see? Another thing averted. Okay, so let me get more of this glitter foam board, or yeah, foam sheet. It's not a foam board, it's a foam sheet. Okay, and I'm just gonna more or less grab that and make this straight as possible. Mark it, and then cut a little bit bigger, and then trim at the bottom. It's going to go like that. Okay, let me cut another one for the other side. Actually, I'm going to cut yet another piece, the same, so that I get the width. I should, okay, because I'm thinking about the little piece that's going to go right here. Okay, so I cut those, and I want the same width for the two pieces that are going to go here. So I'll just use the same width. And I'm not even cutting them like all that straight or anything. I'm just cutting. Okay, let's put these pieces like that. Okay. Now this has to go here. And then a little one in here. Okay, we're going to glue that down. That. One on the other side. And the pieces that are going to go right here. How does that look? This way. Got like a little bit of a belly there. Down. And then I'll just repeat the same process on the other side, and then of course, which is the piece that I just trimmed, this one, I will do, oops, I will do the pieces that go up on top here, the same way. So just like that, overlaps a little bit. This dried before I could finish putting it down. Okay, there we go. I'm telling you, this hot glue goes so fast. Alright, I'll be back once I've got these pieces on there. Alright everyone, so now I'm going to paint the roof, but I want to add a little bit of a dry brush effect. This is the back of the house actually, and I'm not going to do that to the back. I'm going to do it just to the front. I've kept this on here, but it's not going to stay on there. It'll be tucked behind it. I've just kept it on there so that every time I turn it, I don't have to be worrying about the wire pulling, and then maybe pulling on, you know, the whole thing, and things coming apart. Okay, so I'm going to use this paint. I wanted some white, but I actually grabbed this one. It's called Parchment, and it's just a little bit of a little beigey, very pale beige look. This is a satin finish acrylic paint, indoor, outdoor, dishwasher safe. It's from Volkart, but you can use any acrylic paint. Could have used some from the Dollar Tree. I probably did buy some white one just like this, but I opened up my drawer. This is on the top, and I grabbed that. So I'm just going to grab a dry brush and grab some of the paint, and then just remove some of it off of it. Let me grab a napkin. And then I'm just going to give it a little bit of a brushing like that. Probably poured too much on here. Just want to give it that. And then of course, you know, if you feel like, oh, I did too much, well then just go over with some black. You could use any color, brown, whatever you want. I mean, if you want to use a red or blue or green, use whatever color you want to use. Going around the windows especially. Kind of highlight the edges of the windows a bit. Try not to get any paint on your little ghosties. I'm going to do this kind of a thing where I shoot out from the inside of the edges. Okay, try not to get any on the ghost. It just highlights the windows a little bit more so that you can spot them. But you know, once you have a little light on, you'll know where the little windows are. Okay. Again, if you feel like, oh, I did it too much, okay, get some more black paint and go over it. Okay, I'll figure out how to put that back in the little bottle. Now I'm going to get some of the black paint. I've already got this paper here. I need to clean that brush. Actually, I'm going to mix some of that parchment with a black so that it's not too black. That way my roof will be kind of like a little bit lighter. But you know, you can go brown or green or red on the roof if you don't want to use that on the walls of the house. Okay, so I'm just going to do this as best as I can. Probably need to get a smaller brush to get in there. Make sure you get the little edges. And that's all I'm going to do, you guys, and I shall be back. Okay, so now I'm going to take some green moss. And this is what I was saying. It doesn't matter how you paint, because you're going to cover a lot of that up on the top here. So I'm just going to take some pieces of moss, add some glue, and just place some, you know, wherever. I especially want to cover like the seams right here, the roof. So I'm going to get some little bits and put that right on there, right along the seams there on the top of the roof where it meets, right there. I'll worry about these webs later. See, just cover that up. Let's do the other bit here. Try to do a neater job than what I'm doing. Take your time. And then some of my paint still needs to dry, but I'm just getting ahead of myself because I am doing this video and I want to get it uploaded for you guys. So excuse my messiness. But in the end, I'm going to have a cute little house, a little cute little haunted house. Okay, so now that I've put all the moss that I want to put on the roof, nice and overdone, I can go ahead and just add a couple more little decorations to this. So I have these little purple pumpkins. They came in a little bag that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. Unfortunately, I don't have the little bag to show you. Well, I have the bag with the little pumpkins. I just don't have the label. So they're from the Dollar Tree. I have a bunch of them in there, but I've already used some on a quick little wreath that I did for my front door. I didn't do a video for that. It was kind of already made wreath and I just added some little pumpkins. Okay, so I'm just going to glue a couple of these to each side. And I like that they're purple. If you prefer orange pumpkins, use orange pumpkins, but that's what I have. I do have some orange ones, but I think I bought them for a fall project, so, or something else. Okay, so I'm just going to add some hot glue right there. And add a little bit of moss on the side here. And then I want to add a little bit kind of coming out of the top of the pumpkin because it doesn't have a stem or anything. So I'll put that right there. See that? Okay, I'll do the same thing on the other side. And my web package came with like 4 of these little spiders. And then I got these little rings here. They're like a little grabby, so you can grab them onto the webs. I don't need that, so I'm going to cut that off. And just because I feel like this house needs like a giant spider crawling up on it, I'm going to stick it right up here. Right here. You can't really see it that well, but he's there. Or she's there. All right, everyone. So there is my little haunted house, my little ghost haunted house. How's that? Little light up house that I put together with some Dollar Tree items. There's what it's looking like, all lit up with cute little pumpkins. And there's that cute little ghost that I put together. I'm mostly proud of that little ghost. And I hope that you will like it because I think it's a little ghost that you can make and put on anything. Where's that spider? There it is, crawling up onto the roof. I think the moss was a good addition. Hides a lot of, imperfections. A lot of it is hiding a lot of imperfections, especially all that paint. Make it nice and rustic. I really love doing this project, and I hope that you enjoyed watching it. So you know what, guys? I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up and leave a kind comment down below. Let me know what you thought of my project for today. And if you're enjoying watching this and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe by hitting that red subscribe button. Also, hit all and notifications so that you can get notified as soon as I upload a video. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. And as always, enjoy.